a religious faith. It meant he rediscovered the fact that he was a Jew. My mother was a Jew. The family was Jewish.
Culturally.
Far more than culturally. Being Jewish is not a cultural phenomenon. At least it's more than that. It's a deep continuity of historical experience and historical memory. My grandfather perished in Auschwitz. My mother never got over that. And nonetheless, my parents' effort, I'm talking about my parents' effort, to give me a religious education didn't succeed. I did have a bar mitzvah. I still remember my bar mitzvah prayers. But the sad truth of the matter is I found it all excruciatingly boring. And I still do.
Mm-hmm. I can attest to that.
I'm not about to spend a whole lot of time in a temple.
What are your kids now? What are their faith now? Are they practicing or they're similar to you?
We're all secular, deeply secular. And we have all of the vices, but all of the virtues of a secular identity. That is, we all, in some way, believe that we're self-created, that the most important thing in our lives collectively is the autonomy of personality, that the personality exists in order to be satisfied, that our desires have an intrinsic value that are quite independent of what other people believe. I think both my children and I certainly appreciate the fact that to achieve certain things, there's a great deal of discipline involved. I'm not talking about hedonism, the desire to lead a life such that you're having a good time all the time. I don't think anyone believes in that.
I live in South Beach. There might be some people that disagree with you.
South Beach, Florida, I guess.
Yes, yes.
I mean, certainly there are people prepared to say it, but I know very few satisfied hedonists over the age of 30. The declaration that you live to have a good time all the time, it becomes very wearying after a while. But secularism imposes some severe restraints on how you live. I mean, you cannot rely to the extent that it was possible to rely, say, in the 17th or early 18th century, on institutional authorities that at every step of the way guide your footsteps. Secularism is the prospect of allowing human beings to create themselves anew in each generation. No question about that. And sometimes it's very difficult, sometimes it's painful, sometimes it's exhilarating, but as far as I can see, we are all in the position of someone in a lifeboat wondering whether it would be more practicable to sail the seas in an ocean liner. Well, we don't have an ocean liner anymore. We've got the lifeboat, secularism, if you will. And that has to be enough. We're always in the process of fiddling with the lifeboat, changing the oar locks, wondering whether we should be sitting in the front or in the back. But fundamentally, we don't have access to an ocean liner, that majestic ocean liner of faith that has